Time to use up some scraps. These are offcuts of teak and sapele left over from the recent dining table build, and I think I'm going to use them to make some coasters. Each of these pieces has one smooth side and the other side was cut on the bandsaw, so that will need to be flattened. Each piece was just under 1 centimetre thick, so I started by setting my thickness planer to 8mm and pushed each piece through with the rough sawn side facing upwards towards the blade. Once all the pieces were flat, I applied wood glue and clamped them together. After a few hours, I removed the clamps and started cleaning up the glue squeeze out. I thought about running this piece through my thickness planer again, but I was worried that the set glue would take its toll on the blades, so I decided to use an old hand plane instead to get the faces nice and even, as I could easily resharpen the hand plane blade later on. I wanted these coasters to be circular, so I marked up some circles with a compass set to 45mm radius to give me coasters that would be 90mm in size. I had enough space to get 7 coasters out of this block. I roughly cut out the circles on the bandsaw. And then I perfected the circular shape of each coaster on the disc sander. I put some double-sided tape onto my workbench and stuck down a piece of 120 grit sandpaper so I could sand down the top and bottom of each coaster by hand. Then I eased over the sharp corners with a bit of the same 120 grit sandpaper. I chose Danish oil for the first coat of finish. This oil will build up a film, so it should protect well against moisture. I applied a generous coat and let it soak in for about an hour. This brought out the grain really nicely. Then later I wiped off any excess and applied another coat. Next I applied some clear satin varnish with a cotton cloth, and I gave it 2 coats of this. And then finally I applied some clear brie wax. Next I could buff the wax coating to a nice sheen, and the coasters looked really nice.